Hello everyone, I am Michelle G. Arambula from BSFI 3A, and today we're going to tackle about salting. What is salting about, and what is their methods, the manufacturers, or the effect of the salt penetration. So, what is salting? So, salting is one of the earliest technique for preventing fish, and salting preserves by lowering the moisture content to the fish to the point where bacterial and enzymatic activities are retarded. Salt removes water from the fish by osmosis. According to Wetton and Lawton, 1985, spoilage organisms generally cannot survive long at salt contents about 6 to 8% are the wet bases of the fish or the higher. Salting is usually applied in combination with other methods of preservation such as drying, smoking, fermenting, canning, and marinating. Salt is used in almost all methods of fish preparation, either as a condiment, flavoring agent, or as an accessory preservative. And salt, or the sodium chloride, almost always originates from the evaporation of seawater. Salt can be classified as a solar salt, evaporation of seawater by sun, mined salt from underground, salt deposit, or dried up salt lakes, and from deeply buried salt deposits. The quality and type of salt are the prime important when salting fish, since they will have a great effect on the quality of the end product. So, there's three types of salt quality. First is a chemical composition, the second, the microbiological quality, and third is the physical properties. The chemical composition is pure common salt, which is 99.9% sodium chloride, and many commercial salts contain a number of impurities. Spoilage bacteria are inhabited by salt, but some salt-tolerant bacteria are often found in many commercial salts. The presence of halobellic bacteria can result to pinken and a cured fish. Additionally, the halobellic molds may be present particularly in rock, mined salt, which can cause dun and salted or dried fish. In physical properties, salt comes in a variety of grain sizes depending on the number of grinding steps that it was undergone. Factors influencing salt penetration. Salt penetration and the removal of water from the fish are influenced by a number of factors. So there are 5 factors influencing salt penetration. First, the fat and protein content. The second, the thickness of the flesh. The third, purity of salt. The fourth, the temperature during salting. And the fifth, and the freshness of fish. In fat and protein content, the higher the fat content, the lower the salt uptake. Fat acts as the barrier both to the entry of salt and the withdrawal of moisture. Protein content 18 to 19%. The thinner the flesh, the slower the diffusion of salt to the center, and the tropical ambient temperatures such as Delhi would allow decomposition at the center of thick muscles before the salt concentration has reached levels high enough to prevent bacterial spoilage. In the purity of salt, the purer the salt, the faster the salt penetration. And in the temperature during salting, salt uptake is faster at higher temperature, but the rate of bacterial spoilage is accelerated. The freshness of fish, the pressure of the fish, the more slowly salt will be taken up. So, Fariza Asmad will continue to do the discussion.
Good day everyone. My name is Fariza S. Asmad from BSFI 3A. So, I will be the one to discuss about method of salting and also the spoilage of salted fish. Method of salting. There are 2 general methods of salting fish according to Tassler and Lemon. The one is dry salting. This method is carried out by the rubbing fish with the salt just before packing, in each layer of fish is sprinkled with salt. The water removed by the salt is allowed to drain. The fish are repacked in salt periodically with the fish on the top placed on the bottom. An advisable proportion of salt is 3 kg or 10 kg or equivalent to 30% of dressed fish prepared for salting. And for practical operations, the quality of salt used should not exceed 35 to 40%. The second one is wet salting. It can be brining or pickled curing. In wet salting, brining is done by the placing fish in a solution of a salt and water, usually saturated, until the desired salt concentration is attained in the fish. So fish for drying, smoking, and canning are usually brined prior to processing. Pickle curing starts as a dry salting method or salting process. If the fish will brine salted, first soak the fish in the brine of lesser concentration for about 1/2 to 1 hour to let the blood before packing in the saturated brine. The fish should be stuck closely before adding the concentrated brine. The small fish may be dumped into the brine. The brine must be changed regularly if it becomes sour or slimy.
For manufactured product, we have a hinge for the fish, Visayan salted or fermented fish, and also salted sea urchin.
Spoilage of salted fish, pink or reddening. This is the common defect of salted and dried fishery products, which is caused by the presence of some species of halophilic bacteria which have pink or rust color. So the two groups of halophilic bacteria most often causing pink are Pseudomonas salinaria and Sarcina littoralis. Then, it is characterized by a peppering of light brown spots of pond spots. They are able to grow in salt concentration between 5 and 26%, optimum relative humidity of 75%, temperatures between 10 to 37 degree, optimum at 25 degree, and pH of 4 to 8 with optimum between 6 and 7. Good sanitation, good ventilation, and drying of all areas in the plant will help control the growth of this mold. Sliming. Slimy fish is characterized by a semi-greasy, sticky, glistening layer of yellow-gray or beige color. A sour pungent of odor is usually manifested in the product. This spoilage is caused by the growth of slime-producing bacteria on the fish, capable of living in the low concentration of salt, 16 to 12%. So, the development of slime can be prevented by observing the following. Fresh fish must be used. Temperature and humidity must be reduced. Salt penetration must be improved. And the drying of the outer of the fish must be accelerated by increasing ventilation. Souring. This condition is due to improper salting, which results to uneven distribution of salt throughout the muscles of the fish. Salt burn. This is due to an excessive amount of fine salt that draws out the surface moisture so rapidly that protein coagulates to the extent that the hydration of the salted products is difficult to attain. Fatty fish. This type of spoilage is somewhat related to sliming, during which degradative bacteria gain a hold when the temperature is too high. This occurs in the thick parts of the salted fish, where the rate of increase in the salt concentration is less. The remedy is similar to that for slime prevention. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.